to a special holiday edition of Cooking with Mr. Weeks. I know your screen time's precious, so thank you for giving me some of it. Today, we're going to be cooking the Christmas holiday classic, Thai drunken noodles. I know what you're thinking. That might not be a classic Christmas dish in all of your homes, but this really hasn't been a normal year. Let's talk it out in the backyard. This has been a weird year. Let's check in with some of our friends about how we could reframe it.
Well, hello, Ms. Henderson.
Hello, Miss Blythe.
Cheers to you. And thank you, Mr. Weeks, for having us in your lovely backyard for this very important backyard chat. Cheers.
2020's been a hard year.
It has been the hardest year of my life. And
many
I'm
people's
sure of
lives.
many people's lives. Yeah.
The national tragedy has really made us all have to search deep to find joy.
Yeah.
This period of darkness
It is incredibly dark.
makes
right
it
now.
really hard to spark joy.
Yeah, you know what? When you talk about the darkness, the other thing I think about is how cultures around the world celebrate at this time of year. And when I was living in France, they have this beautiful festival called the Festival of Lights, La Fête des Lumières, and it's on the 8th of December. And every 8th of December, I continue to put a candle on my window in remembering that even in the darkest moments, there's light.
For thousands of years, people have come together at this point of the year. You know, the darkest point in the year really is solstice. It's the longest, darkest night. And for forever, people have been coming together to try to find a way to bring joy to each other, even when things are really dark.
Like I see right now, like even as hard as it is, and as hard as it is being away from our students and not being able to do the things that we normally do at this time of year, just seeing these ducks, that's a little thing, you know, that brings joy.
There's so many ways that we can find happiness with our friends, even if it's through Zoom, or even if we have to be in the backyard.
Doing things differently than we normally do, and finding new ways to celebrate.
Yeah. There's lots of ways to find joy.
Cheers to finding joy.
You know what brings me joy? Cooking with my friends. Let's make some noodles. I know we've already made an Asian dish in this series, but it's one of my favorite culinary categories. It's because they have a great balance of spicy, salty, umami, sweet. It's perfect. It's delicious.
Let's meet the ingredients now.
You're going to need some wide rice noodles, canola oil, garlic, green onions, a regular onion, Thai basil, some spicy peppers, Thai chilies preferably, some chopped up chicken thighs. And for the sauce, you're going to need both regular soy sauce, dark soy sauce, fish sauce, and oyster sauce, and just a little bit of sugar. Let's prep some ingredients. I had previously cut these chicken thighs into bite-sized pieces. They're ready to go. I sliced up our onion. I took the green onions and I cut off the whitest parts and the greenest parts. The green parts are very fibrous and they can get kind of chewy. And this part, that doesn't look edible at all. So, and then with our chilies, you want to cut them in half with a knife and then take a spoon. And you want to scrape out the membranes and seeds from inside of there. Those seeds are very hot, so if you like spicy stuff, you can leave them in if you want to, but scrape them out if you don't want too fiery of an experience. Next, I'm going to take the pepper and cut it into long strips. Doesn't have to be pretty, just has to be fresh and delicious. Then we're going to dice those up pretty small. There you go. You can choose the size of the dice, depends on how much spice you want in your bite. Once we can do those, we're We also need to take our Thai basil and chop it up. It can be a rough chop like this, about 1 cup, and then we're ready to go. Next, you want to ask one of your kitchen elves to get the boiling water going for the noodles and to start heating up the oil in the pan for cooking the whole dish. Let's make the sauce. You're going to need 3 tablespoons of oyster sauce, 2 teaspoons of sugar, and then you're going to need 1.5 tablespoons of both light and dark soy sauce, a total of 3 tablespoons. Dark soy sauce is sometimes difficult to find. You can get it at the Asian market like I did, or you can sometimes find recipes to make it, or you can just use 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And then we're also going to need 1 tablespoon of water. And then with the help of the magic purple balloon whisk, mix it all together. That should do it. Then we're going to set it aside for later. All right, our oil's hot, our water's boiling. Take it away, helper elves.
Thanks, Mr. Weeks. We're going to be cooking with these wide rice noodles. Recipe calls for 7 ounces, usually coming in a 16-ounce bag, so we're going to use about half these. Kind of slide them in. Sometimes they take a little bit of time to soften up. We'll put those in there. Take a second. Yeah. You know, as they start to change, it's going to be a lot easier to get these going all the way down. So give them a little time, be patient. I just love watching them change. Speaking of change, let's meet one of our magnet heroes.
Well, hi there. Here's my friend Prince. You know, I could read this quote, but it's Prince, or the artist formerly known as Prince. His name has also changed, and it says, "Life is just a party, and parties weren't meant to last." And that's really the topic of 2020, right? Nothing has stayed the same. Nothing is how we once knew it. And I love this song because it just talks about, even in good times, we just have to appreciate them, because the good times don't last, but also the tough times, that doesn't last. So put on some good music, make some drunken noodles with friends, have a party. It won't last, but it'll be fun.
Thanks, helper elves. That was awesome. Now we need to get this rolling. This is going to happen pretty quick. We cooked our noodles for about 7 minutes until they're soft and strained them in the sink. Careful not to burn ourselves. And now, let's saute some stuff. Come on. Pan's nice and hot. I've got my garlic and my chilies. I'm going to pour those in. Cook those for about 10 seconds. Be careful because the oil from the chilies, you don't want to get that in your eye. You don't want to breathe this in. It can be kind of difficult sometimes. So keep stirring it. Just about 10 seconds. And we're going to add our onions. And then those are going to cook for about 1 minute. And break them up if they're sticking together. Oh, that smells good. Next, we're going to put in our chicken. And 2 teaspoons of fish sauce. Fish sauce is actually fermented anchovy. It smells awesome. It's a staple in a lot of Asian recipes, and it adds a lot of flavor to a lot of dishes. Get it back in there. I'm gonna let that cook for about 3 minutes. Okay, now that the chicken is done cooking, I'm gonna add our green onions, our sauce, and the noodles. We're gonna stir that up until it's all incorporated. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna take out some of the noodles because it looks like our sauce is getting thin. Gotta be flexible. You want to cook that up so the sauce thickens. We put sugar in there, so when it heats up, it's going to turn into a bit of a syrup and coat these noodles real nice. You're going to stir these, cook all this up together for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Kind of up to you. You watch your sauce, make sure it thickens. It's coating everything nicely. And all the water's been evaporated out. That's looking pretty good. And then the last piece, our Thai basil, just 1 cup. This is the last thing you're gonna add, and you don't wanna cook this for very long. So once you put this in, you're done. Stir it in and turn off the heat. Ooh, that smells good. That basil and the fish sauce all together makes an amazing fragrance. Okay. Turn off the heat. Let's go feed the helper elves. You guys look hungry. Well, thanks for joining us for this episode of Cooking with Mr. Weeks. This looks and smells really good. Let's plate it up. You can put some kimchi on the side, garnish with some peanuts, and of course, some holiday nog.
Cheers.
To joy.
To joy.
To joy.
Thanks for